Somewhere inside a $6 million hypercar, there's a part from a car you probably see in traffic every day. Same bolt holes, same connector, same manufacturer barcode, and it's not the only one. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you the one story that might genuinely change how you see the value of a car like this, not just this one part, but the entire car. Stick around because it's probably not what you'd expect. Bugatti builds some of the most exclusive, most talked about cars on Earth. Multi-million-dollar price tags, waiting lists, and engineering that sounds like science fiction on paper. But when these cars actually get taken apart, bolt by bolt, down to individual components, some of what's inside tells a very different story than the price tag does, and it raises a real question. How much of what you're paying for is the car itself? And how much of it is the brand that's built around it? Let's get into it. In late 2025, mechanic and YouTuber Matt Armstrong began rebuilding a wrecked Bugatti Chiron Per Sport, one of only 60 ever made. While tearing the car apart, he checked the part number stamped on the passenger airbag. It matched an Audi A3. Not similar, identical. Same part number, same bolt holes, same electrical connector, even the same Volkswagen Group platform sticker. That Audi A3 airbag retails for just a couple $100s. He also found the steering wheel airbag matched a part used in an Aston Martin DB11, a car that starts around $200,000. While that's still a very expensive car when you compare it to the price tag on a Chiron, it's merely a fraction of the cost. Now, to be fair, Bugatti is owned by the Volkswagen Group alongside Audi and several others, and shared components across group brands isn't inherently scandalous. It's common practice across the entire auto industry. What's notable here isn't that sharing exists, it's how far down the price ladder the identical part goes on a car costing over 100 times more than the vehicle it came from. This isn't even the strangest part of the story. Armstrong ran into something else during this same rebuild that went viral on its own. He says Bugatti quoted him roughly $16,000 for a single switch. According to his account, he sourced and fixed the equivalent part himself for next to nothing. Here's a more independently documented case from an earlier Bugatti Veyron repair. When the ignition coils failed, 16 replacement coils, one per spark plug on the W16 engine, were billed at $750 each. That's $12,000 just in coils. It reportedly took around a month for the parts to arrive at all. Labor alone for the job was quoted around $20,000. Here's the twist inside that story, though. The spark plugs themselves, another part that needed replacing, were reported as the single most reasonably priced part on the entire car, about $18 each. Why? Because they're shared with standard Volkswagen Group components, same as the airbag. So even inside Bugatti's own documented repair costs, the shared parts tend to be the cheap line item. It's everything surrounding them: labor, proprietary components, official channel-only sourcing. That's where the real money goes. The exclusiveness doesn't really come from the price of the parts, but from what Bugatti themselves say it takes to repair or replace them. Yet somehow this YouTuber Matt Armstrong has been able to fix many components that Bugatti quotes at thousands of dollars of labor for, within extremely small time frames, and for much, much cheaper. But the part that might actually change how you see this whole car is even more questionable. Even something as small as the key fob has made headlines. Standard Chiron key fob replacement has been reported around $6,000. For a piece of electronics that functionally does the exact same job as the key fob on any modern car. Lock, unlock, start the engine. For context on how wide this range actually gets, Bugatti has also offered a genuinely bespoke option, a fully jeweled Chiron key fob made from white gold and 34.5 carats of diamonds, reportedly priced north of $500,000 on its own. That one's clearly not about function. Nobody needs diamonds to start a car. It's a pure status object wearing the shape of a key fob. And it's not just the fob itself. If you lose a Bugatti key entirely, reports on full replacement costs have ranged from around $11,500 up to nearly $14,000, depending on the specific report and model year. For comparison, losing the key to almost any other car on the road typically costs a few $100s, occasionally low thousands for something like a high-end luxury sedan with advanced anti-theft coating. A Bugatti key isn't doing anything fundamentally different. It's still just proving you're allowed to start the car. But the price sits in a completely different universe, which brings up an interesting split running through this entire car. On one side, components that are functionally identical to parts costing a tiny fraction of the price. On the other, deliberately over-engineered luxury objects that cost what they cost specifically because there's no functional reason for the price at all. It's pure exclusivity, sold honestly as exclusivity. But Matt Armstrong made another discovery when fixing his own Bugatti Veyron. The high-speed key, the one that allows the car to do the record-breaking speeds, was missing and had to be replaced in order to enter top speed mode. This key was rumored to cost more than $10,000 from Bugatti, but Matt discovered the slot was actually just a repurposed Volkswagen passenger airbag switch and was able to make a functional high-speed key for just $20. When Matt had originally asked for the price of the high-speed key, Bugatti told him they wouldn't give a direct price and that the car had to be shipped to a dealership for specialized coding. Bugatti has publicly pushed back on some of these numbers, too. Their CEO has said several viral price claims circulating online are exaggerated, and he's pointed to things like the Chiron's included 4-year warranty as offsetting some of the sticker shock on service costs. Something worth keeping in mind, that's coming from the person with the single biggest reason to defend the brand's reputation, not an independent auditor. I'm not going to tell you definitively who's right on every number, but a documented part number match, down to the bolt holes, is a lot harder to spin than a general statement dismissing most of what you hear online. Here's where this gets genuinely interesting, and where I think the real answer sits. Not fully on one side or the other. Some of what makes a Bugatti expensive is completely real and completely justified. The W16 quad-turbo engine is a genuine engineering achievement. Nobody else on Earth is building anything like it. The car is hand-assembled in small numbers with extraordinary attention to materials and manufacturing tolerances that a mass-market car simply doesn't need. And exclusivity itself has real legitimate value. Only 60 Chiron Pure Sports exist. That scarcity is not fake, and it's a real part of what collectors are paying for, the same way rare art or limited-run watches hold value partly because almost nobody else has one. But some of the price is clearly resting on things that have nothing to do with engineering at all. An identical $50 airbag, spark plugs shared with the car costing a fraction as much, replacement parts and labor markups that go far beyond what the actual complexity would suggest. So the honest answer probably isn't Bugatti is a scam, and it isn't every dollar is justified either. It's that a meaningful chunk of the price tag has nothing to do with what's physically inside the car. And once you know that, it's hard to look at the number the same way again. Here's the story I promised you at the start. Bugatti has blacklisted VIN's specific individual cars from receiving official factory parts at all once an owner has repairs done outside their approved network. Armstrong's rebuilt Chiron is one of them. That means even though he owns the car outright, paid for it in full, the company that built it can simply decide his specific vehicle no longer has access to official parts permanently. Sit with that for a second. This isn't about a repair bill anymore. It's a car worth millions of dollars, and the manufacturer retains the ability to functionally cut it off from its own supply chain. Not because anything is illegal, but because the owner didn't do repairs their way. That's the part that actually reframes the whole story for me. It's not just that some parts are shared and marked up. It's that even full ownership doesn't guarantee full control over what you can do with the car afterward. What do you think? Is Bugatti trying to stop people from uncovering exactly what makes their cars? Do they just want the money for servicing and maintaining them too? Or do they simply think they are the only ones capable of doing the work properly? Let me know in the comments. Now, just a few notes for accuracy. The airbag part number match is documented and verifiable. The $16,000 switch figure is Armstrong's own account, not a confirmed price list item. The ignition coil, spark plug, and key fob figures come from multiple independent automotive outlets reporting on real repair cases, though individual costs can vary by year, region, and dealership. Bugatti's pricing rebuttals are their own public statements, not third-party audited figures. The VIN blacklisting practice has been reported across multiple sources covering this specific case. A Bugatti is a genuine feat of engineering, and they are genuinely exclusive vehicles. Both of those things are real, but real value and real price aren't always the same number, and once you've seen a $50 part sitting inside a $5 million car, that gap is hard to unsee. If this kind of "what are you really paying for" story is your thing, check out the Ferrari video I made. Different brand, same underlying question. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for future videos, as well as leave a comment down below of what you'd like to see next.